Hi. If you think cybersecurity requires coding, you've been told the wrong thing. Here's something most people just don't know. The majority of cybersecurity incidents happen not because of sophisticated hacking, but because of human error. So we're missing things, missed steps, weaknesses in processes, or simple mistakes. That means that a lot of cybersecurity is really not about coding. It's really not about creating tech. It's about judgment. It's about organization. It's about paying attention to detail. Most people hear that and it completely changes how they see this field. And I hope that it does the same for you. My name is Kimberly Simon, and I help non technical professionals find and start cybersecurity careers without needing to code. If you've been feeling stuck in your career, and let's face it, a lot of people have, or you're feeling unsure about where you're headed with AI changing everything, you've probably looked at cybersecurity or you've heard about the many opportunities that are growing in this field, but you've thought, not me. I'm not technical. I wouldn't even know where to start. Well, I'm here to challenge you today because you've probably moved on and left it alone. I get it because I did the exact same thing. See, I didn't study coding either. But what most people don't realize is that cybersecurity is not just one job. It's an entire ecosystem of roles. And tell you what, many of them have nothing to do with coding. Many of them have nothing to do with building tech. The real problem is not your background. It's that you've seen one version of cybersecurity. Let me make this simple for you. Think about cybersecurity like a school. When people think about a school, you think teachers. You're usually just thinking about teachers, the ones that are standing in front of the classroom. But a school doesn't run on teachers alone. You have administrators, you have people managing schedules, you have people ensuring that rules are followed, you have people managing policies and handling operations. There's so many roles that go into a school functioning, people in communication, people identifying issues before they become bigger problems. There's just a lot of roles that go into a school. And you know that if any of those roles disappear, the school stops functioning. Cybersecurity works in exactly the same way. Yes, they're highly technical roles and we need them. They're coding roles and we need them. But there are also many roles focused on structure. There are roles focused on process and there are roles focused on oversight. And that's where most people get stuck. They assume that the only way into a career in cybersecurity is through the most technical path. So they either try to force themselves into learning certifications and things that don't make sense to them, things that they don't have any interest in, or they just walk away and they never try, completely missing many opportunities in a growing field. So it's not that you can't do this, it's that you've been shown the wrong version of cybersecurity. So here's the shift that's actually going to matter. The problem is not that cybersecurity is too technical. The problem is that you are trying to start without clarity, without knowing where you fit. And that's the problem. Because when you don't know where you fit, when you don't have clarity, everything feels overwhelming. You just don't know where to start. You don't know where to stop. You don't know which certifications. You don't know which jobs to apply for. So you start Googling, you start looking at courses, and you try to start figuring out certifications that don't make any sense to you. And it feels like there's 100 different directions that you could go. And it's just overwhelming. It's like walking into that school and saying, I guess I need to become a teacher. Well, maybe you don't. What if you don't want to be a teacher? What if you're not interested in being a teacher? You have to realize that there are multiple roles that might fit you better, that you might get into faster. Now, here's the part that really matters for you. If you've worked in admin, if you worked in customer support, if you've worked in operations, if you've worked in marketing, because that's where I started, if you've worked in coordination, you already have transferable skills. You know how to follow processes. That's important. You know how to stay organized. That's important. You know how to communicate clearly. That's needed in cybersecurity. You know how to notice when something feels off, when something doesn't look right. You know how to keep things running smoothly. And those are exactly the skills that we rely on in cybersecurity. These are the skills that businesses rely on to stay secure. Because most issues, like I said, don't come from advanced attacks in 2026. They come from things being missed. They come from things being overlooked. Now, layer this with what's happening globally. Cybersecurity threats are increasing every single year. You see it in the news. Businesses are becoming more and more digital, which means that there are more and more threats. And organizations are under constant pressure to protect data, to protect systems, and to protect trust. That's their brand. So cybersecurity is needed all over the globe, across every single industry. This industry is not slowing down. But here's what's interesting. Not all of that demand is for technical roles. The large part of the demand that we're seeing in cybersecurity careers is for people who can help manage risk. It's for people who can help manage processes, people who can make decisions. So if you've been thinking, I don't qualify to get into cybersecurity, or you've been telling yourself that I'm not technical enough, or you've been telling yourself that I don't even know where I would start, that's not the real issue. The real issue is that you haven't been shown where you fit yet. You don't have clarity on which role matches your interests, your experience. And once that clicks, everything changes, because now you're not trying to learn everything. You're not guessing. You're not going after random certifications. You're actually moving with purpose. You're moving with direction towards a particular role that fits you. If this sounds like you, there's a simple first step that might help you. I created something called the Cybersecurity Role Finder. It takes a few minutes, so 3 to 5 minutes, and it helps you see which roles actually align with how you think and how you work. So it's an assessment where you answer a few questions and it tells you which cybersecurity role you fit with. There's no technical background needed. And if you want help turning that clarity into a real path, that's where the Jumpstart program comes. I talk more about that once you're really clear about where you're trying to go. Because remember, the first thing you want is clarity. Where do I fit? Which role would actually hire me? So you do not need to become technical. You just need to understand where you fit in this industry. Because once you see that, once you understand that, this stops feeling confusing. Getting into cybersecurity stops feeling like a dream, and it stops feeling like something you have to spend years on. It's something that is possible for you to get into within just a few months. Click the link below to check out Cybersecurity Role Finder and get the clarity that you need on which role fits your experience and your interests. And then after that, we can talk about Jumpstart. Also, check my bio for the link to Cybersecurity Role Finder. If you are not following me, follow me now for more content like this that can help you access cybersecurity roles without needing to code. See you soon.